Hey guys, welcome back to the deep end. I am your host, Tyler Brunger. Thank you so much for joining us to the season finale. Yes, this is the last episode, and I know what you're thinking off the bat. What the is going on? It looks a little different. It's just me today. There is a specific reason why I'm by myself today. I thought, since the beginning of this podcast, just to tell you a little bit, I've been working on it since like January. I put it on like my New Year's resolution. I always make the New Year's resolution, but I never do the New Year's resolution, as many people don't, like honestly. But I kind of made it my goal to do a lot of it. I think the idea, I'm about to graduate, I think the idea for me kind of came into my mind when I was like a junior. I was like, I have a lot to say and I need a place to say it. So I created the deep end. So over the past, what is it? It's almost May. For the past 4 months, I've just been building and crafting and growing with the deep end as a part of my life. And it's been super fun. And I've been super blessed to have amazing people join me. I appreciate every single one of those episodes. They're so much fun. I had so much fun doing them. But I think, for me, there was really only one way I wanted to send off the first season, and that was kind of with myself. I want to see how it goes. I'm testing the waters to keep it on theme and corny. Yeah, I want to, like, what would this be like? I have things planned. We haven't even scratched the surface yet of the deep end. There's so much to come. There's so much I want to do. There's so much I want to fulfill. I've already done quite a bit of it. And I've seen it out. Like, I saw it out, and I'm glad that it actually got to be what it was. I'm glad that I have a very little community. I never did it for likes, views, attention. I just did it to get out there. The purpose of the deep end, the purpose of hosting a show, a podcast actually, I guess, was to insert myself into the world, to show my card, to be like, this is me, this is authentic, this is me being myself. And I think, no, I know that I did that, and I'm very proud of myself, and I'm very, very happy that there's people who actually watch it. I was expecting to be like the only person who watches it, but there have been many people watch it. I appreciate any view, any click, any like, any rating on Spotify. I've seen people on Spotify view it from different countries. That blows my mind that there's been multiple countries clicking on my podcast. And then YouTube, on the other hand, is a very small community too. You guys have, I have people say I watched your video on YouTube and I loved it and blah blah blah. People will come up to me in school that I don't even know. I'll be like, you're the dude with the podcast, and I'm like, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a cool thing to have. And I'm really, really happy. And I'm really glad to have a support system. So yeah, I wanted to kind of send the deep end off in a way where it's very kind of different from the other episodes. It really is. Because what I have in store for you is a little different than the first season. The first season, let me tell you, let me give you the rundown. Let me really tell you the artistry behind what I did. That was really loud. I'm drinking fruit punch, by the way. I think you can actually see what's in my drink. You totally can't. Yeah, sorry. I still have so many more guests that I want. That just people that have an influence on my life. People that, I feel like would just be fun. Would be a good time coming on this show. So this is not me saying like, oh, I ran out of guests. Like, it's just me. But I also think the first batch of people that I've had so far are just the people who have really, really done it for me. Like, they've really done something. They've really, really, really made an impact. And I'm not saying that if you haven't been on the show yet and you're close to me, or if you want to come on the show that you didn't make an impact, I'm just saying, like, the first season was very sought out. You know, like, I knew who I wanted, I got who I wanted, and now I'm just like, yeah, I saw it through. The project's finished. Like, what else is there to do other than to close it off by myself, right? And I feel like I'm just, like, so happy. I feel so fulfilled. I feel like I finally did something. I finally found my thing. And I'm really excited to continue it. Let me tell you the reason for the season ending, though. Why am I taking a break? I'm employed. I'm working simultaneously on another project. I'm not going to say what it is. A few of you probably know what it is. But I'm trying to really press play on another project, and it takes up a lot of time. And I'm seeing it through. I'm working on it. I'm going to finish it. And I'm also in school. So doing all three things is like a lot. There's a lot going on, guys. And it's not that I'm ending this because I don't have time for it. That's not really what I'm saying. I'm just saying that this does take a lot of time, and that it's so much fun to do, which is why I'm like, crap, I'm already like ending it. But I'm also like, I'm not like leaving. Like, it's only, I won't be gone for long. Okay, like, I just need to think. I don't like to keep things the same for very long. I don't like to be repetitive. It's like, you guys, there's a very, very strict pattern so far on this show, I feel like, on this podcast, that I've created. Like, you can decipher the script. If you watch one episode, you'll know what vibes I'm gonna give in the next. You know what I mean? Almost like you know what I'm gonna ask. You know what I'm gonna say. So, I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna kind of ask you guys to have the mindset that you can expect the unexpected a little bit, teeny bit, when watching and continuing watching the show in the future, this podcast. I also don't think this will be the last time by myself. I spend a lot of time by myself. I know myself like the back of my hand, which to many people are like, you're stupid. Duh. You're yourself. You know yourself. But there's a lot of people out there, they don't spend enough time with themselves. I truly do believe that. And I feel like, coming from a place where I really know myself, I know what I can say. Listen, I'll pull from the bowl. I will literally give you guys a fishbowl today. A slight little smaller fishbowl. And I feel like I can do it. Like, I feel like I'm happy to be my own guest. Like, being so straight up. Coming from a non-selfish place, can't really be selfish if it's my own podcast, but coming from like a place of being selfless, because I had so much fun with all the people that came on my podcast. But I was excited to do it by myself a little bit. I was excited. I was surprised that the only episode that I've done by myself so far has been the finale. And it's just because, like, no guest wants to talk about the actual podcast with me and, like, what's happening, what to expect, what has happened. That's not fair to the guest. I feel like that's, like, a thing that needs to happen with myself and just whoever's watching, to kind of learn about the story. You know, like, where did we start? I say we as if there's more people. Funny story, I always post, I'm the one posting on the Insta, obviously, but I always say, we are joined by, like, who? Like, it's just me. It's literally just me. I guess I'm just, like, trying to be, like, professional or something. I really don't know. But I'm gonna clear the tank today. Is that okay? Yeah. That sounds great, doesn't it? Something on my mind. Something that's been happening. Something that's going on. I'm trying to replay what has happened in my head. You see, this happens all the time. I always think about clearing the tank beforehand, and then I never know, like, which one I'm gonna go with or what's happening. Like, I could easily say I got a new set of nails and they're really long and chunky and I'm not a big fan of them. Or I could say that I have a really tan on right now. But what I'm going to say is prom season. Prom season is on Tyler's mind today. I'm clearing the tank with it. Prom season's coming up. I finally figured out my outfit. Now listen, I'm not going to say anything about my outfit. I'm going to say something about my outfit. It's a dark vibe. There's darker vibes, okay? There's darker vibes, and I have a Vivienne Westwood necklace. Styling that Vivienne, I styled my whole prom outfit around the Vivienne Westwood choker because I'm going to... do I spoil it? Do I put a picture? No, I won't. But if you look up Vivienne Westwood necklace, the vibes are there. I won't show you the exact one because I want people to be like, wow, on prom. Nobody's going to give a f***. But I feel like I did my whole outfit based around the necklace, honey. So when I was picking, I wanted to go with a jumpsuit for sure. I wanted to do jumpsuit. I loved it. It was comfortable. I could dance. I could dance. I could be comfortable. It felt like I was wearing sweatpants, but it looked like I was going on a cruise. Okay? Like, you know what I mean? That's my vibe. I think also HOCO this year, for me as a senior, was the first time that I did jumpsuit. Like, here's my sophomore year. I'll put a picture. That's my sophomore year for homecoming. I didn't do homecoming as a freshman. Don't know why. But I did, like, a suit and knee-high boots and the... Oh, God. Oh, God. Here's junior year. I did, like, a mesh top with the red. The red. And the slick... That ass slick back ponytail. Ariana Grande had nothing on me, okay, guys? Like, that was slick. Slick. And I personally loved it. That's all that matters. If anyone else said my forehead looked big, which it did, I don't give a f***. I liked it, so I had a slick back ponytail. And then, homecoming senior year has been my favorite. It was featured in, like, the last episode, I think, so go check that episode out. That was a really funny episode. I love you, Addie. Yeah, senior years was great. It was the first time I wore a jumpsuit. I was feeling it. It was great. It was easy to dance in. The shoes sucked. The shoes were so fucking bad. But, like, I know enough to, it's like, I still need to go prom, though. Like, you know what I mean? I need to have the prom experience. So, when I'm going in a jumpsuit, the only thing I'm thinking about is y'all. How am I going to go from a homecoming fancy to a prom level? How am I taking it from homecoming to a prom, okay? And I think the biggest idea that I had going into prepping and planning was a Vivienne Westwood necklace, okay? I looked everywhere for Vivienne Westwood, okay? And I found one that I really, really liked. And the outfit, it'll kind of be the star of the outfit. I kind of want that to stand out. So I have, like, a darker vibe going, a little old Hollywood-ish, but Bridgerton-ish-esque. I don't care that the theme is Bridgerton, because the outfit is kind of already Bridgerton enough. Like, it was fully unintentional. But the more I looked at it, I was like, you know what? It is on theme. Like, it really is on theme. It really is giving Bridgerton vibes. You know what I mean? So, I'm really excited about it. Prom is going to be great. I have a super fun after prom plan as well. Katy Perry is in that weekend. Oh, the pillow's on the ground. Katy Perry. Okay, listen. I'm going to a Katy Perry concert prom weekend. That is crazy work. That is everything and more for me. Basically, Tyler's in heaven. Okay? She's a good throwback. No shade to her. But she, you know what? I'm really excited about Katy Perry concert. Even more excited about prom. Shall we get into a fishbowl today? Should I do it? One last time for the closing. The last season. Now, whatever doesn't get pulled, I think they're just going to carry over to the next season. Your fishbowl will still be here. It's called the deep end because it's a fishbowl. I think you caught on to that. I'm going to go with this one. I think. Let's mix it up a little bit more. This one. I want a good one. I want one for myself. I'm really excited. Let's see, guys. Oh, wow. Okay. Almost drunk one. Self-care. Alright, guys. I pulled from a bowl. Self-care. This is really great. This is a good last one. I'm really excited to talk about it because, girl, we need a lot of self-care. We need a lot of self-care. Like, guys, everyone in here needs self-care, which is myself, okay? Taking care of yourself comes before anyone else. The first thing that comes to my mind when I think of self-care is the fact that it's not selfish to put yourself first. It is not being selfish to take care of yourself. You have to take care of yourself. You have to be a good person before you can be a good person for anyone else. Point blank, period, okay? So, in the way that you can do that is spending time by yourself. Some of my favorite things to do by myself, you may ask. Well, what are some of my favorite things to do myself? I like to write. I write about my feelings. I write plans. I love writing. Writing is something that definitely I can export myself into. I can detox myself, and that feels like taking care of myself. I love my bed, as a teenager does, right? Watching shows, scrolling on the social medias, going outside tanning. I am the happiest in the summer. But, like, getting to spend time by yourself and finding what you truly enjoy is the most important when it comes to self-care. I think what a lot of people, I can't speak for anyone because I don't know how anyone else feels except for myself and maybe, like, my friends, but sometimes when you don't spend enough time by yourself, you're just a worse person. Straight up. Like, if you spend all your time around other people or seeking the need to have other people in your life, if you don't, here's something controversial. If you don't know how to be single, and I'm not just saying that as a jealous single person, because in some cases, I am a jealous single person. I'm not scared to say it. I don't give a fuck. If you don't know how to be single, honey, you need to take care of yourself. You need to stop depending on other people, okay? Like, and you could still do that in a relationship. Don't get me wrong. You could take care of yourself in a relationship. Like, you can be yourself in a relationship. You can stand your ground, know your ground in a relationship. But truly, being single is the time where you get to learn who you are. It's just like, honestly, getting to know someone else. For me, I was a late bloomer in terms of getting to find what I really liked. I was a dick rider. Many people would call me a dick rider, okay? And what I mean by that is I just went with whatever everyone else did. I followed the trends. Whatever my friends did, I did. Whatever everyone was wearing, I wore. And in many ways, yeah, relatability to other people is important. And it's real. It's a thing. It's a whole thing, honestly. Like, if you feel happy following a trend because you can relate to everybody else, then do it. But there has to be something about you that sets you apart. I mean, honestly, there's billions of people, so no matter how much you set yourself apart from societal norms or fashion, clothes that you wear, foods that you eat, you're not that different. So, stop. One thing that I was always scared of is fearing that being too different would be unrelatable. Doing something that nobody else does would just make me a loner. I thought that making a podcast would make me feel that way. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of podcasts. Thousands. AI does not make podcasts. Humans, we make podcasts. So, I have to sit back and remind myself a lot, so many times, that no matter how different you set yourself apart, no matter how many hobbies you go find that none of your friends have, somebody else in the world has it. You're never, no, I'm not going to say never, but you're likely not the first person to think a thought. You're likely not the first person to do something. If you are, amazing, congratulations, be that achiever, be that girl. But I think it's for me, when I think about like taking care of myself, for me it's a mindset that has, I mean, my mindset is just like so rooted because I've had to change it so many times, right? But when I think about taking care of myself, I think about, you know, actually taking time for yourself. And I guess what I mean by like I have such a rooted mindset is that I've had to switch it so many times because so many things weren't working. You know, I think it connects back to the feelings of stress that I have felt about things, or, you know, I feel anxiety about a lot of things in life. It happens, you know, but no, nothing can solve that. All we can do is help ourselves, is take care of ourselves, is brace ourselves for those things. So for instance, if somebody's giving me a nasty look, now I used to really care. Really care what people thought about me. You know, especially as I was branching out, growing my hair out, wearing makeup, being, the more authentic I became, the more I worried about what the people thought. Obviously not anymore if I'm being myself here on a podcast. And here's how I kind of did that. I switched my mindset from caring about what other people think to just knowing what other people think. Just expect it. Just know. You know, I'm fully aware that when people look at me, they think I'm crazy, or, you know, when people look at me, they're like, what the is that? But people are able to do that. They have free will, and they'll do that. It's the way you think about it. It's the way you take it. Are you going to take it like, oh my god, they're looking at me, oh my god, like this is the end of life, I'm not normal? No! Don't do that. Don't do that. Or at least in my opinion, because I still do it sometimes. It's human. It's the first thing our minds go to. If you take an example like that and think of it from a way of, I'm aware of what the people are saying, I just don't care, I think that'll, just try it, you'll see. Just try telling yourself you don't care. I've heard it all. I've seen it all. It's happened before. The more it happens, the less I care. I think that also happened. The more you experience something, the more used to it you get. That's point blank, duh. We're all scared of roller coasters at some point, but if you go on 10 roller coasters, you're gonna walk away at least knowing what it's like to be on a roller coaster, right? And in many ways, you are going to understand that it's not as scary as it seems. And I think it's the same in the situation of feeling anxiety, in the situation of branching out and becoming your authentic self. Because we all live to be our most authentic self. I think self-care is about caring for yourself so that you can be authentic, so that you can go off into the world and be uniquely you. Another thing that comes to my mind when I think about self-care is how underrated it is. Taking care of other people is what a lot of people kind of have as an engraved mindset. We're taught as a kid sharing is caring, which is true. I'm not saying it's not true. And that, you know, always help other people, always do this. But me personally, there are times where I get so caught up in worrying about other people, so caught up in helping others, that I fully forget I deserve the exact same thing. And another thing that's hard sometimes, and that you'll learn through life experiences, not that I've been through many of them, but I've been through enough to say, I can't expect anyone to give that to me, right? I can't expect the love that I give to people. I can't expect the care that I give to other people to be replicated onto myself. That's just not something that's happening. In many ways it is. There are people, I'm not saying that like people don't care about me. People don't. That's not what I'm saying. What I guess I'm trying to get to the bone about, what I guess I'm trying to, holy shit. Sorry. I had to take a piss. I had to go pee. It happens. And I actually don't remember what I was talking about, so I'm going to fully switch over and talk about something new, which is sorry, which is still self-care. I think I was talking about how underrated it is and how we can't expect the same care to be given to us that we give to other people. Yeah, I was talking about that. Yeah, you have to also care for yourself the exact same amount, if not more, than other people. Putting yourself first is not putting anyone else necessarily behind you. It's, I mean, technically it is, but like, it's not a bad thing to have to say, no, I'm taking a day for myself. It's not a selfish thing to say, no, I have to feel like this in order to do this with you. Or sometimes I don't even hang out with people if I'm not going to be on the same level of energy with them. If I don't have the energy for it, I'm not going to do it. Because if I can't replicate that kind of energy, if I can't realize that I am my most important need right now, I'm not going to be in a happy mood. And I hate hanging out with people in a bad mood. Who likes hanging out with people in a bad mood? Which brings me to other people with self-care. Now, you know, when I think about how I used to relate to self-care, I think COVID-19 is in flashing red for me. That shit stunk. But it became one of the most formative experiences in my life. My parents at one point were still working, and my brother was hybrid. He was in school, like most of the time. There would be so many times where I'm just by myself in my house as a middle schooler. Every single day was not just getting on Zoom, because I didn't do that. Straight up. I didn't do that online. I was there, but I wasn't there. Like, I was like, you know what I mean? We all know the whole COVID spiel. Whatever. I got to find what I really liked to do. I got to get good at the things I liked to do, and I got to be really creative. And then I went to high school. And then I fell into the trap of other people. I depended on only other people. I wanted as many friends. I didn't care who it was. I didn't care. I just wanted as many friends. I wanted to talk to everybody. I wanted to no. For me, it's always been a small circle. I've talked about it before. I love my little smaller circle. I do like having friends, a lot of friends. Having a lot of friends is good. I like having a lot of friends, but actually the people that I choose are the ones that really do align with the similarities. And even with like self-care, scarily enough, the people that I spend the most time with are the people who treat themselves similarly to the way that I treat myself. And a lot of that could be from influence. Sometimes we're influenced by human interaction and we don't even know it. We just kind of do it. What the f*** are you talking about? Wow, being by myself is really strange, guys. Being by myself is really strange. Getting into high school. Getting stuck with people. And following the leader. I wasn't really that creative. I wasn't really thinking about stuff for myself. I was thinking about what is everyone else doing. And I needed to learn how to not do that. I needed to learn how to be by myself and sit down with myself again and realize I need to stop following the leader and I need to be my own kind of... No, I wouldn't say I'm a leader of anything. I don't think I lead. I'm definitely more of a follower than a leader, a little bit. But I differentiate myself from a lot of things because I like to do things that a lot of my friends don't. Where I would be writing a lot as my creative export, maybe a friend would be playing a sport or painting and drawing. Um, and finding the things that I liked. You know, I always had people that I trusted that I went to. I always had friendships that were very strong that burnt out. I don't know if I've necessarily ever cut people purposefully out of my life before. Um, but none of that really matters. I suppose at all, to be honest. But when I think about self-care, I always just think, how can I be a better person for other people? Because that's what we're all trying to do, I think. How do I think I will continue a self-care journey? I just kind of wanted to ask myself. No, I'm totally kidding, but no, seriously, like, what are things that I think are going to be very common as I'm getting older? I am 18. I turn 19 this year. In the year 2025, I turn 19, which means next year I'm turning 20. That's crazy. That's a little wild. I will be in a completely different setting with completely different people. But one thing that I'm going into this time that I did not go into the last time meaning high school, was the mindset that I'm doing it for me this time and I'm doing it for my experience. For high school, I was going for the high school experience. I was going to do whatever XYZ did. This time I am going to college, the college that I want, the college that I picked, the setting that I loved the most. And I'm doing it for me. I'm going to find things that I like. I'm going to try things like the piano. I updated you guys saying that I did the piano. That's a way of self-care. I spend time with myself. I figure out things that I like to do. My parents probably hate it because it's loud. But I like to play the piano. You know, I think there's a lot of, where I'm going to school, there's going to be a lot of time to self-reflect, self-heal, figure out what I really want in life. Like, you know, when I think about the continuation, and as I'm coming on the cusp of turning 20 in 2026, I think I have to start wrapping up kind of this chapter of my life by force. Time is moving. I can feel time moving. I don't know if it's just me. I can feel the time moving. By force, this chapter of my life is closing. And that's like the funny thing about time, is that obviously it keeps going, but it will force you to close a chapter and it will force you to open a new one. In a lot of ways, I feel like if time didn't do that, I would be stuck in so many boxes that I have outgrown already. I kind of ate that up. Wow. That was like really good, guys. Applaud me. No, I'm kidding. But, no, seriously, I'm being serious. I think if I couldn't feel the time moving, my face getting older, the classes getting less serious, the bonding of everyone coming together, if I didn't feel all of those things, I would still be stuck at it would literally be Right Where You Left Me by Taylor Swift, the song. Check it out, amazing song, by the way. But I'm going into it prepared for exactly what it was for high school, with a completely different mindset. And it's one of those things where I'm not scared to step into that box, and I'm not doing it for anyone else, and that feels so good. And I think because I spent that time getting to learn myself, I really got to have an excited mindset for the next chapter. You know, it's how we feel moving into the next chapters. It's, you know, we never really truly know. We can have an idea of what's going to happen when we're opening a new chapter in life, but we never actually know step by step what we're going to do, because we can't see the blueprint. We don't know what the blueprints are. And as those come together, that's when we build the puzzle pieces. That's when we come around about making decisions, taking risks. The risk it is worth the biscuit. Remember that. And yeah, take care of yourself. It's worth it. I promise you. Like, all the hating ass are hateful because they don't like themselves enough. They don't take care of themselves enough. That's why they're worried about you. That's why they're thinking about you, okay? Like, you can tell. You can always tell when someone needs self-care. Checking my... That was not slick. God damn, this is my podcast. If I want to check my phone, I can check my phone. One last little spiel. One last little thing. About my topic and about the deep end. Before I close off this chapter, I guess. Self-care. I always say at the end of these spiels that it's important, but remember to love yourself, because if you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you gonna love anyone else? That is quoted by Mama RuPaul. But no, being so serious, like, take care of yourself. Learn how to be by yourself. Learn how to be by yourself. Try going into a chapter of your life that you've never done by yourself. Learn something by yourself. Do something by yourself. Be by yourself. It's so vital to me. Like, if I didn't do that, I would be going insane. And it's simple to do. It's easy to do. All you have to do is just do it. Like, it's one of those things where you don't really have to think about it too much. Instead of going out on a Saturday night with all your friends, even though you kind of don't want to, spend time by yourself. Girl, do it. Try a hobby that you've never done. Watch a tutorial on how to do something and do it. Do something fun. Do it for yourself. Yeah. For the deep end. I am absolutely so happy to say that I've had such a fun journey. Not one thing about starting a podcast has been negative or has felt very, like, wishy-washy. It's just all been, like, straightforward fun. So, I'll be back. I'm gonna go away for a little bit. I'm gonna cook up some episodes for you that will be coming out. Don't miss me too much. Don't forget about me either. Come back. This is not the end, girl. Come back. But, like, no, for real. I'm really excited to see you guys on the other end in a different ocean from Atlantic to Pacific right now. But no, seriously, one last time. I love you guys. Thank you so much for all your love, all your support. If you've made it to the end of this episode, it has truly been an honor to have this be a part of your life, if you've made it a part of your life. And I will see you guys in the next season. Bye.